In this example, we are doing lesson 6.4, Solving Systems, Part 3. This is an extension. This is the real-world application. So we have wildlife biologists studied the weights of 2 alligators over a period of 12 months, okay, over the span of a year. The initial weight and growth rate of each alligator are shown in the table. Okay, it looks like we have the 2 alligators right here. After how many months did the alligators weigh the same amount? What is the amount that they weighed? Okay, so basically what we need to do here is we have to figure out, well, what are the variables that we are looking for? Okay, and it says, well, we know that the table is talking about the weight, right? And it says after how many months did they weigh the same and what is the amount they weighed. So we know that W, the weight in pounds, is one of our variables because that's always changing. Okay, and we know that it's pounds because we can look at the table to figure out what the units are. Then we need to find out our other variable. And what else is changing? Okay, well, what's changing? The time, right? The months. As the time goes on, as the months go on, the alligator's weight is changing. And remember, we can always look at our rate, pounds per month, to help us with our other variable. So we'll do T is time in months. All right, now we need an equation for both. We know we have to make an equation because we're asking after how many months did they weigh the same amount. See where it says that they weigh the same amount? That means after we make our 2 equations for the 2 different alligators, we're going to set the equations equal to each other. A big equal sign, because we have to figure out when are they going to be the same. All right, so let's first get our equation for each alligator. So alligator 1, and then alligator 2. All right, remember the initial weight is always like the y-intercept, the initial value, and then the rate is like the slope. So for alligator 1, it says the alligator started at 4 pounds, so W equals 4, plus it's telling that the alligator is gaining 1.5 pounds per month, so it's 1.5 per month. That's why we have the T there, because T represents the time in months. As the months go on, the alligator is gaining 1.5 pounds. All right, alligator 2 is W equals, starts at 6 pounds, 6 plus, and then it's 1 pound per month. So 1 T, 1 pound per month. All right, so we have our 2 equations for our alligators. Now it's asking after how many months did the alligators weigh the same amount. That means you need to set the equations equal to each other. So we have 4 plus 1.5 T equals 6 plus 1 T. We're trying to figure out when are they the same. So we put the equations equal to each other. All right, now we need to solve for T because it's asking after how many months. So let's solve. T is months. When we solve an equation, we need the variables on one side of the equation and the numbers on the other. So I'm going to say that I want the variables on the left side of the equation. So the T's need to be over here. And then the numbers, I want them on the right side. So let's first get the numbers on the right side. Let's subtract 4 from both sides. They cancel out over here, and you're just left with 1.5 T equals 6 minus 4 is, there's a 2 left over on this side, and then plus a 1 T. All right, now we need to get the variable, the T, on the left side of the equation. So let's subtract 1 T from both sides. All right, they cancel out over here, and then 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5t, and it equals 2, because we have a 2 left over on the right side of the equation. All right, and then the last step is to divide by 0.5 on both sides. And we're left with t equals 4. All right, 2 divided by 0.5 is 4. So, we just figured out, well, what did we figure out? That's a good question. Well, we know that t equals 4, but now I have to remember, well, what does t mean? Let's go up. That's why we label our variables and think about what they were asking after how many months, and t is time in months. We just figured out that after 4 months, these alligators are actually going to weigh the same. Even though the one started out at 4 pounds and the other one started out at 6 pounds, because they're growing at different rates, after 4 months, they're going to be the same amount. So let's write that down to answer the first question. After 4 months, the alligators will weigh the same amount. All right, and then the other question asks, what is the amount that they weighed? Oh, well, here is my equations for the alligators. And after 4 months, they're going to weigh the same. So let's use one equation and figure out after what the amount would be that they weighed. So we'll just do alligator 1. Well, actually, let's do alligator 2. Because this one, alligator 1 has a decimal, so let's forget the one with the decimal for now. Let's do the easier equation. W equals, that's a good strategy to use. W equals 6 plus 1 times t. All right, and we know that after 4 months they're going to be the same. So to figure out the weight after 4 months, let's plug in 4 for t. W equals 6 plus 1 times 4. So W equals 6 plus 4, which means that the weight is 10 pounds, right? Because that means that W equals 10. All right, and it would be the same in the other equation, right? If we substitute in 4 months here, it would be 4 plus 1.5 times 4. 1.5 times 4 is 6. 4 plus 6 is 10, so it's the same in both equations. All right, now I'm going to have you try, before you watch the video, try the got it number 1.